Midnight Strike here, with a confession of sorts. I kind of like Escape the Fate. Okay, there, I said it, I came out and said it, and I actually find some of their material quite good, especially on 2 out of the 3 of the albums that they've released before this album came out. Those, of course, being Dying Is Your Latest Fashion and their self-titled 2010 album. But, you know, the stuff on This War Is Ours, I really and like the only things that really stand out are We Won't Back Down, On to the Next One, and This War Is Ours, The Guillotine Part 2, which I actually really dig the Guillotine trilogy. Those are actually some of my favorite overall Escape the Fate songs in general. So yeah, every single album has one except for this new one, but hey, it's supposed to be a trilogy, so I guess it ended. But yeah. Um I'm going to try and get through this video without mentioning the F or R words once, and no, those are not fuck and retard. I can probably use the first of those 2 words a million times if I wanted to, but I'm not going to. So, yeah, the F and R words, I'm not going to say them, not going to bring them up, because we don't need to go there. So, yeah, Ungrateful, Escape the Fate. Now, this band, like I said, I have sort of mixed feelings towards, but I actually really do like most of their material. Dying Is Your Latest Fashion is a really good record. This War Is Ours kind of sounded like imitation a little bit of their previous work. Had the same kind of post-hardcore-ish production. Craig was singing in the same way as the previous singer, the previous vocalist that was in Escape the Fate, who will not be named. And yeah, it sounded like he was trying to be like him. So, and he even had the same haircut. So it's like, okay, this is kind of weird. But he found his own style. They all found their own style in the self-titled. And even though that record gets a lot of shit for being too over the top, overproduced, too mainstream, too over like auto-tune and stuff like that, it sounds like a band that has rekindled their energy since losing their first singer, since losing a lot of fans, and then it started this whole war between 2 singers, and as they said, this war is ours, but at that point it really wasn't. So yeah, we're right about now, 2013, it's pretty safe to say that it is, because Ungrateful is actually a pretty decent record. So, you know, I do have my gripes with it. It's not perfect. It's kind of average, but, you know, I do like most of the songs on it. So, to get started, we start off the track list with Ungrateful, which is the title track. And I gotta say, when I first heard of this record, and was anticipating it, I found out that Max Green left and that, you know, this record was going to be produced without him, and it's just, I thought this record was going to suck. I honestly did. Like, I saw a picture of them with their haircuts, and they all looked like, you know, scene posers and stuff like that. It just, they did not have the greatest image. So, I thought that they sold out. I thought that they were going to just completely sold out. Apparently there's a duet with Fall Out Boy on here, but I don't see it. I never noticed. I forget. I could look up what song it is, but I'm kind of too lazy right now. But I don't know if they actually included it or if it was just a rumor that got dispelled or debunked. So yeah, the title track was the first one that I heard, and initially I thought that it sucked. Initially I did. I don't now, but let me tell you why. The riff structure is really bland, really repetitive. It just repeats the same kind of guitar chords over and over again, and the screaming is alright. Actually, the screaming is pretty good in this song, but overall, it's really hard to get into until you get to the chorus. The chorus is actually the strength of this song, but the problem is the chorus really doesn't go with the verse structure at all. It just seems like it's just a really simplistic melody, and it's not really that memorable. So yeah, I mean, I still find the song pretty decent. It's got lyrics about anti-bullying, which is something that Craig Mabbitt at least has been really big on lately. So yeah, I mean, I do actually enjoy the music video. The music video is pretty good, and I've gotten used to the song overall. So it's an alright song. The next one is one of my favorite songs overall, Until We Die, and this is a very hardcore song, very heavy, very fast-paced, and it's awesome. I really like the chorus, and they really put the use of effects, especially in this song, and it is very nice. It is a very good song. It's one of my favorites. So, Live Fast, Die Beautiful. one of the weaker ones. It's got an alright intro, but then when the vocals start in, he starts talking about like how this girl wants to steal their fame. It sounds like a dance pop song a little bit, gone like a heavy version of a dance pop song. And you know what? I liked it at first, but then I just started listening to it over and over again, trying to get these songs in my head so I could review them a little bit, and it just really rubbed off on me. I don't know what it is about this song, but maybe it's the lyrics. Maybe it's the vocals. Maybe it's the overproduction in this song in general, but I don't really like it that much. It's all right. I can listen to it. It's decent, but it's not something that is huge on this album. The next one, Forget About Me, another really good one. Really good one, actually. The screaming, especially, is very good. I think it opens up with that, too. Um, very, very good. And the next one is of course one of my favorite tracks, has some of the most memorable solos on the album, and an album full of actually quite forgettable solos and screaming parts. That's the only drawback of this album, is, or one of the only drawbacks, is the solos are very bland, very generic, and kind of short in length, and they're a little bit on the forgettable side, except for when it comes to the case of Picture Perfect and this song. So this song is very good, and this is the second song, and it kind of rekindled the hope that I had in this album, because I heard it as a single. It's the second single to produce this album, and coffee for my voice, and it is actually very good. The screaming is nice, and it's very heavy. Not as fast as, say, Until We Die, but it is a very good song. So, yeah. I just found out, I was listening to it last night, trying to, just get one last listen through in before I review it, and I was just like, holy shit, this is about Max. About halfway through it, yeah, so the song is about Max, I believe, but it is ambiguous enough to the point where you can put someone else's name in, or just think about it's about something else. It's not exactly about drug use. Well, it is, but it's not exactly about like Max Green and what like Escape the Fate we're going through during the recording process of this album. So I really do admire that. Even We Won't Back Down on This War Is Ours was really ambiguous. It was apparently, yeah, it was about someone. It was about their old singer, but yeah. Anyways, this You're Insane is not a vengeful song. It doesn't come off as a vengeful song. It just comes off as like a hardcore, angry, pissed off song. So, and I can definitely rock out to that. Chemical Love, this one's not that good. It's kind of really repetitive. It's a little bit on the slower side. It's a little, like I said, monotonous in its verse structure. The vocals are good, and like the playing itself is really good, but just the structure, it kind of loses me after a little while. And let's see, Picture Perfect, can't stand the intro, but after that, it is actually a very good song. I kind of rated it just based on the fact that it had a shitty intro. I was just like, okay, this song isn't going to be that good, upon listening to it. And about halfway through it, this I was just like, this is a good song, holy shit, okay. Yeah, my feelings kind of changed in that aspect in retrospect looking at this song. Risk It All is another really good one. It's a really heavy hitter, one of those hard rockers. Same with Desire, and One for the Money. This is one where the cheesy cliche lyrics where you think, what were they on when they wrote this song, come in, and I don't know. It's really catchy. I'll give it that much. It's very catchy. And if it had better lyrics, it would be a decent song. But, oh, I don't know. It's basically going in circles with explaining what this song is about. And it's not a very good song based on the lyrics. I don't know. I can't get past it. So, the next one is Fire It Up. And this one is very generic. And it's a faster song, but it's not a very good album closer. And it's very fast, but just the structure of it and the singing is a little bit off. The screaming, the catches, the hooks, it's just not there for this one. I'm not feeling it. But there are, like I said, there are very good songs on this album. This just wasn't one of them. So, yeah. Overall, this album is alright. I actually, when I got this, I got 2 bonus tracks though, so I'll go over those quick. I Alone and Father Brother. So I Alone opens up with almost the exact same chord progression as Not Good Enough for Truth and Cliche. Don't know why, don't know if it was intentional, probably, but I'm not sure. But then it quickly differentiates itself by taking on an entirely different structure. So it was kind of a nice throwback to that without completely ripping it off. I thought it was going to be the exact same thing, but I was proven wrong upon listening to it. It's a decent song. Not one of my favorites on the album, but it is very good. Father Brother, this is another one. I especially like the lyrics in this one. The singing is all right, but the overproduction kind of rubs off, especially on this song. If it would have been, say, on This War Is Ours or Dying, then it would have probably been a better song or better production. It would have sounded better with that kind of post-hardcore-ish production. So those are my thoughts. Overall, this album is, instead of a continuation of This War Is Ours, like Craig had said in a tweet or in a post or in an interview, this is more of a a continuation of their self-titled release in 2010, because it had sort of that like overproduction feel, like that, special effects, that artificial kind of, I don't know how to say it. It's not necessarily a bad thing in this case, because I mean, some bands sound really good with all these effects. It's just, how are you going to perform these live? But I think that their self-titled did in fact have more effects in that aspect, but this one just has a little bit less solos that are memorable. I actually had to listen to it twice in order to actually memorize or remember any solos or any screaming for that matter, because a lot of the songs actually don't have it. So there are a lot of songs with it, but then there are a lot of songs without it. But yeah, overall, I actually enjoyed this. I not gonna lie, I actually enjoyed this record, and I mean, of course, I like their older works a little bit better, but this is a very nice addition. It's a solid album. It's a very nice addition to the Escape the Fate catalog, considering everything that they've been through. So it is a very good album, and it does have its drawbacks. It's not perfect. It's not a masterpiece by any means. It's not the best album of 2013. It's not going to be, and I can already tell you that. But it is a pretty decent listen, depending on what kind of music you're into. But I'm going to recommend it to anyone who is a fan of Escape the Fate or F. I'm not going to say it. But yeah, I recommend it to those people, or like on the lighter side of metalcore. Dare I say it's metalcore? I don't know what this can be categorized. It's not post-hardcore. I don't know if it's metalcore. It's maybe on the lighter side. But yeah, I would recommend it to those people. But if you're into something more like heavy, harder, like Killswitch Engage, All That Remains, like old All That Remains, Shadows Fall, I don't know if you're gonna like this one. But hey, you can give it a chance and see what you think. I'm going to rate this album an 8 out of 10 because it is solid, but it does have its drawbacks. So, yeah, hope you enjoyed watching this. 8 out of 10. This is Midnight Strike 3625. Keep calm and rock on.